Miss Combos with Laura Newseth. Yahoo, and welcome back to Miss Combos with Laura Newseth. Today we are back for yet another World Link 2 event. They just won't stop. And this time around we have the Leonid World Link 2 event titled Ordinary Yet Special Us. So let's take a look at the event summary. The members of Leonid have been doing well and living their life as a professional band to the fullest. However, one day something strange happened to the small tree that's growing in their Saki, and they ended up getting sent to a dream where they never got separated from each other. Not gonna lie, I kind of feel like a little bit of a broken record with the event synopsis because they're all so similar. But yeah, now it's Leonid's turn to go take a trip down, not even memory lane, take a trip down what if dreamlike lane, I guess. So before we go into the cards, let's take a look at the event logo. So we see the meteor shower that is obviously associated with Leonid, and then you also get to see all of the Leonid members as stars, which is a very cute touch. So let's begin with Ichika's card. Here we have a brand new perspective. Hello, what is this bird's eye view? And why do I like it so much? I think this is something new, and it kind of proves to like the Project Saki artists that you don't have to go all out in order to give us something new. Even just changing up the perspective, honestly, this feels pretty refreshing to me. And I think this perspective really highlights how overworked Ichika looks. Like, she just looks kind of wiped out. She is staring at a picture of her and, you know, the rest of Leonid as younger girls, but everything else is kind of a little disheveled. You have the coffee, you have everything kind of just scattered. So maybe in this reality, Leonid just keeps working from like young girls all the way up to their teenage years, and Ichika just feels a little overworked. So now let's take a look at the trained card, and I have to just say this out loud. I am not a fan of how overexposed this artwork is, and you'll see this throughout the other cards as well. I just feel with how bright the card is, you lose a lot of the details. And I also find that the colors just look very washed out, which is personally not my preference. And I kind of wish that those blues would pop a little bit more just because it is their signature color. Apart from that, I do really like the outfit, at least what we can see. It reminds me of Roslia from Bandori a little bit. The pose is fine. It just looks like Ichika is posing for a picture. I feel like the pose reminds me a little bit of the Kaito pose from one of his Leonid cards. Yeah, it's an okay card. I don't know, I'm not like truly amazed by any particular element of this card, but please let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Also, I did notice that there are some flowers in this card, but they're the least visible in Ichika's card, so I will get to the flowers in the next card. The next card belongs to Saki! Holy crap! Who knew Saki liked tennis? At least I didn't know. And this is kind of funny. A few months ago when I saw the Project Saki movie with my mom, I asked her which one of the characters she liked the best, and she said Saki. And funny enough, my mom is a tennis player, so I'm gonna have to show her this card. She's probably going to love her even more. But yeah, I think it's super cool to see Saki in an alternate universe where she was a strong girl and not dealing with all her health complications. And I kind of felt like they were going to approach her what if scenario like that. I did see a lot of fans just assume the worst, which just doesn't really make sense for the Project Saki storyline. I mean, canonically, she has suffered a lot from health complications and just missing out on her life because she was hospitalized. Why on earth would Project Saki make her suffer even more? Like, it just, to me personally, it did not make any sense. Apart from that, I know I often mention that a lot of the Project Saki artwork seems to be lacking movement, and this one is the complete opposite. Like, there is movement. It's a different pose from what we have seen in the past, and I just feel like it's overall executed really, really well. As a former tennis player myself, her form looks pretty good. Here we have her trained card, which once again, I'm just not a fan of how washed and overexposed and dull the colors look. It just makes it look a little bit like muddy, and not in a good way. But despite that, I do feel like there are some cool elements in this card, particularly the piano keys that you can see hung up on these strings of flowers. At first, first I thought there were wisterias, but wisterias are not blue, they're purple and they have different petals. I think the closest flowers to what we see in the Leonid cards, and you'll see the same flowers throughout the set. I believe these are blue hydrangeas, correct me if I'm wrong. And these specific blue hydrangeas do have a meaning of forgiveness, rejection, and regret. And I feel like all of those words definitely do mesh well with the Leonid storyline and them feeling a lot of regret because they went their separate ways when they were younger. So yeah, I kind of feel like maybe they are blue hydrangeas, who knows? But I do like the Saki card. I really do like the clear transparent piano keys. I think that's such a cool element. Her facial expression is also very different from what we have seen from Saki in the past, but overall, again, I am not super wowed by this card. I'm also not, Saki is actually my favorite one of Leonid, but I'm just not fully loving this trained card. The next card belongs to Honami, and I honestly don't really know what to say about this card. Like, I feel like this is not the most interesting card. I do like the pictures in the background. I think those are cute, and the little Shiba Inu little plushie in the background is also super cute, and Honami looks adorable, but that's like, I think that's like pretty much all I can comment on this particular image. Like, it's just, it is what it is. It's cute, and yeah. And here we have Honami's trained artwork, which once again, that overexposed like highlight is killing me. I really do not like that element whatsoever. I feel like it washes out every single card so far. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that, and it's so distracting. But if we can take a look at the background, which I wish we could see a little bit better if it wasn't so overexposed, you get to see the flowers basically hanging from drum kits, which is super cool. This is why I thought they were wisteria at first, because they look like clusters of wisteria flowers just kind of draping. I think it just looks really cool. I also do like Honami's outfit. Once again, it reminds me of Rosalia from Bandori a little bit, and that's about it. Again, I'm not like super wowed by this particular artwork. And the last card that we're going to take a look at is Shiho with Iori. I had to look up her name because I just remember her as the girl with really cool hair, and I kind of wish she was an actual character in Project Sekai because I just think she has such a cool character design. Apart from that, the card itself is just very plain. It's also a little washed out and overexposed, which I personally don't like, but I do think that Shiho looks cute. And if I can speculate about what's happening in this card, maybe this is an alternate universe where Iori is happy with their bassist and it's not recruiting Shiho to be the replacement bassist. Like, I don't know, I haven't read the story yet, but maybe, like in my head, maybe that's what's happening. And let's take a look at the last trained card. Once again, the brightness being super overexposed is just not my favorite thing. But I will say, I do find it funny that I've been commenting on, throughout the video actually, on the outfits reminding me of Rosalia from Bandori. And guess who actually voices in Bandori? Shiho's voice actress Yuki Nakashima voices Lisa Imai from the band Rosalia, and they're both bassist, which is very fitting. I do have to say that I like Shiho's facial expression. I think she looks very soft in this case. I also do like the flowers hanging from the strings again. Unfortunately, you can't really see much of the bass elements apart from the bass that's like right behind Shiho. Again, I kind of wish there was more to appreciate in these cards, but unfortunately, like, they're good, but they're not great in my opinion. So here we have all of the Leonid World Link 2 cards. As I mentioned throughout the video, I really dislike how overexposed the highlights are in all of these images. So I took it upon myself to do a little edit, and I kind of like my little edit a little bit more. I lowered the highlights and the whites, increased the contrast just a little bit, and also made the blacks a little bit more richer in color. And overall, like, I feel like you can definitely see more of the details with this edit as opposed to whatever they chose to do to these cards, which I don't know. If you guys like the overexposed look, let me know in the comments. I just feel like a lot of the details do get lost. Like, I didn't even know the chalkboard behind Ichika had all those like scribbles. Let me know what you guys think of these cards down in the comment section, and if you're pulling on this banner, best of luck to you. Now, before I end the video, I want to give an update regarding my life as well as my channel, because we're almost like at the 1 year mark for Miss Combos with Laura and Yusef, and I haven't been maybe as active as I was a few months ago. I've just been really busy. So for those of you who don't know, I not only post Project Saki content here and on TikTok, I also do have a separate channel where I do more like manga related videos, as well as I've been kind of kicking up the travel related posts. Since surprise, I am going to Japan in about like 2 months. For the duration of 2 months, I will be kind of living in Tokyo for about a month and a half. So yeah, I've been busy planning all of that stuff. I have my flight and all of the accommodations sorted out, including the apartment that I'm renting, which is very exciting. I do plan on recording like Project Seki related content and rhythm game content and stuff like that while I'm in Japan. I do also want to stream a little bit from there, since I did rent out an apartment, so I think it would be feasible for me. So yeah, I've been pretty busy with all of that planning. But before I even go to Japan, the month of July is always a very busy month because it's convention season. So next week I will be up in Los Angeles for Anime Expo, and I'm finally going to be seeing I'm so excited. I'm finally going to be seeing Kent Ito in person at the Project Seki panel, which I am definitely very much looking forward to. I don't know if I'm allowed to film at the panels just because I've never been to an Anime Expo panel, but I'll try to film some stuff. I know for sure there's going to be a Project Seki booth, so I'll try to record the most I can from Anime Expo. And then after Anime Expo comes San Diego Comic-Con, and I usually do report on any like manga related like industry panels, and I typically do meet with manga publishers as well. So yeah, I'm always really busy during San Diego Comic-Con time, and that takes up pretty much almost a full week for me. So yeah, I feel like you won't be seeing too much of me, especially live streaming. I'm going to try my best to work on content that I can post sporadically throughout July, but we will see. July is always a very stressful month for me. So yeah, if you've been wondering why I wasn't like live streaming or posting too much, there's been a lot going on behind the scenes. So hopefully I was able to clear some stuff out. I really hope everyone's doing all right. I will see you guys very soon in my next video, which hopefully will be up by Wednesday, California time. Fingers crossed. I still have voiceover to record. But yeah, you will see me very soon, and I'm always posting on shorts as well, so you'll see me. Bye everyone, subscribe if you're new.